Hi, this is Superboo 3. This is the Kew Gardens drama, part 3. This is the 5th case in Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. We just came back to Baker Street to pick up Toby so he could look at some stuff. And I've just noticed that Watson is spying on some, so let's talk to him.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
Okay, no, he's just a pervert. Okay, let's talk to Toby then.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens. Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Oh, okay, so we're looking through Toby's eyes again. We need to go through this door. I like how the examine button kind of goes to a paw print on the door. That's nice. I remember there being an actual game, I think it was called Dog's Life on PS2, where you actually did this. Like you just played as a dog the whole time. You had this special smell-o-vision, where it was kind of like this. Anyway, I'm definitely thinking that Hamish is the most suspect, although Margaret White looks like she might have made the poison. Them two are both proficient in chemistry, though.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
I didn't want to leave Toby with the toxic plant, so I decided to go back home. Let's analyse this liquid.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube. A colourless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes?
Really?
What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Oh, we're going to heat it.
Small colourless crystals. Colourless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent.
I'm glad he explains this step by step, what he's doing. Because it doesn't make you feel stupid for clicking on the wrong thing as well.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
So still with Holmes we have to examine the archives for some of these things we've read about in these people's lockers. So we're looking for 1889. What? There's another cult in this one as well. Okay.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Okay, now let's search for rare plants of botany. Here we go. This one, exotic plant, poisonous. Okay.
Here it is.
Okay, we're looking for symbols, so I'm going to just guess it might be in the research section. Nope. No, none of those. Ah. The Divine Syndicate.
Here it is.
Okay, now another symbol, the exhibition part. London Garden Supplies? Yeah.
Here it is.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
As we found the address of the Divine Syndicate, here we are. Let's check it out. I'm just going to run round a bit before I talk to that guy up on the hill. Oh wait a minute, there's something here. Ooh, someone's broken something here.
A fragment of a flower pot. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Pots.
The Kew Gardens symbol.
Did they steal the plants? Okay, time to go and ask that guy up on the hill. I think it looks like plants have been switched around though.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock...
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Sure thing, Yoda. Seriously, he's just Yoda.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
I'm going to assume True and the God King. I don't know if that is in the letters or not, but the other things clearly aren't the answer.
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh, la, good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Were the stolen plants by the syndicate the deadly plants? Oops, sorry. The Divine Syndicate stole plants from the exhibition, including the deadly species. Let's just assume that they're being honest at the moment. The stolen deadly plants could have been used for the poisoning. So whoever stole the plants could have committed the murder. Okay, so the Green Mystic gave us a key, so we can now go inside. Oh, there's drugs on this table.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Is it going to be opium?
This is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Let's try and speak to this devotee.
Came to make a donation. Glory to Treewan.
Let's examine Treewan.
This must be Treewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Okay, this is the exit to the left of the room.
Caterpillars, They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
Looks like a Venus flytrap.
Plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Yeah, I was just looking, and this is actually the biggest plant in the world, I think, or biggest flower, and it smells like rotting flesh. So that's a fun little fact for you there. I think it's parasitic and it eats all the other plants in the neighbouring area from what I remember. That again looks like a Venus flytrap.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
But yeah, I was talking about the red one.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
The suspicious ingredients could have been used for the poisoning. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll check that out. Okay, so in the main room again, to the right this time.
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to disengage this side. As you can see, we can take it off and fit in a way that it lines up all of the lines with the middle. And I'm going to do the same on the one on the left. Okay, yes, see, so now both of those have lined up with the middle. So that means I just have to take care of the centre. I'm going to rotate the whole thing actually first. So now let's do the green one. Okay, so I'm just lining up the green one with the gaps this time because it doesn't seem to work. But, wait a minute, I just noticed, if I move this, yeah, it seems to be lined up with that one. So okay, let's try and move the last one now. And that looks about right. Okay, so we found another drug stash.
Used for smoking opium. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. A vast amount of opium.
Okay, I think it's time that we actually headed off back to the Sherlock cave, but let's go and have a word with the guru. Let's see if he can tell us anything important.
Follow my path, and better you will feel.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Oh God, Watson, what have you started to do?
This green grand mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes.
That's why
Next.
you decided to copy his motions. Okay, so now we're going to do the deadly plant experiment.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Alright, let's just stab the plants.
No reaction. It appears, my word, It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack.
Okay, let's play with these caterpillars. Okay, we can't put caterpillars on that one if we want it next to... It can't be next to that plant.
How interesting. What a strong and effective defensive mechanism. I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant should shoot at it.
Okay, I'm going to move these plants around. Yeah, now we can actually get to look at things. So, let's see what the alkaloid does. Shrivels.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
That means that this third plant has to be it, because we know the alkaloid was used in the reaction.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
Okay. Oh look, there's a green gas. Let's see if it kills.
Gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial collection room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions. Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Now we're talking to Albert Dunn.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. These Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
And lastly, we're talking to Margaret White.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11.
when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house. I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
So I've walked into the Colonial exhibit, and now we're going to use our imagination. That's interesting. There could have been a stimulus from the ventilation system to affect the plants. So he inhaled the spores, escaped the room, yeah, this seems about right. It doesn't make any sense for him to escape the room otherwise.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Oh, we can put the caterpillars in here.
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
Okay, so we're looking for the ventilation system. If you remember, it's around this area, which is next to... This is the seed building. And it was over here.
The power is on. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
Okay, so after leaving the ventilation area, I'm going to go back into the seed room because that was where Albert would have been. Aha!
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Okay, and this is where Hamish, or whatever his name is.
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial collection room.
The ventilation was used for deadly precision. Yep. Deadly precision, maybe Albert, but I don't actually think this was the outcome, but let's just check if we can make that. No, he did not. I think she might have had the knowledge. Okay, she's got lack of experience. could have been part of the sex scheme. Oh yeah. Okay, let's say the sex is not involved. Okay, well, I'll leave that there, and I'll explore the other possibilities and think about it before I actually make my conclusion. But yeah, this would insinuate that Hamish was guilty. I don't particularly want to arrest him just yet, so I'll think about it and then see if that's going to be the conclusion I draw. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time guys, bye.